My video about my scheduling process created some questions by folks about dealing with bottlenecks in the shop. And the first thing that I would like to talk to you about on solving bottlenecks is the parking lot scheduling method that Rick White taught me. Now, in a repair shop, you sell hours and parts. The component that helps us schedule is something called our average hours per repair order. I get that number by taking my total hours sold for a given period, whether that's a week, a month, a year, whatever it is. I typically use about a month time frame, and I divide that by the number of invoices I have in the shop. This gives me the hours per RO number, and then I kind of have an idea of how much time we're going to spend per ticket. Now, let's say we're using 300% rule, and with the 300% rule, I'm seeing, in my shop, it's roughly 3.5 to 3.6 hours per ticket that our tickets average out to. I go by the number of hours that we work when I start out, okay? And here's what I mean by that. I have technicians who work 8 hours a day. We typically get here about 7:30, 7:45. Everybody gets ready. We start work by 8. We take an hour lunch, and then we come back and we end the day around 5 o'clock. We typically stop working around 4:45, and so we're slowing down, cleaning up, getting ready to go for the evening. I take those numbers and I say, hey, if my guys work 8 hours a day and I have an average repair order of 3.5 hours per repair order, guess what? I'm typically going to see somewhere between 2 or 3 new appointments per day per tech. I try to leave an emergency space. Something goes wrong, we get an approval we didn't expect. We don't want to overschedule ourselves. This gives me a little bit of leeway, gives me a little bit of movement if I need it. And if I start to notice that I'm running out of work, I can simply adjust that number and say, hey, look, instead of doing 2, I'm gonna do 3 appointments a day. If I get too busy, instead of saying 2, I can say I'm gonna do 1 appointment per day. This is throttling your auto repair shop, and I think it's something we all need to do. We get this idea in our heads that I should set it and forget it. You can't do that with an auto repair shop. They're too dynamic. You might get big jobs one week, you might get small jobs one week. And so we have to constantly throttle the shop up and down based on what's coming in and out. Now, I'm gonna tell you that I don't think you should be running more than a week out. I think that's a bad sign. Clients don't like it when you're running more than a week out. When we're looking at running a week out, are you billing 40 hours a week per technician? If not, you got efficiency problems. And being a week out, that's not actually how far you are out. So take that with a grain of salt, okay? Especially when we're talking about how far we're booked out. When I put this method in place, I'm happy to tell clients, you can see behind me, we got a ton of parking. I'm happy to tell clients, hey, if you want to drop off early, you're welcome to. I'll work in my first available. And what this does is if I start running my guys out of work, now I've got some bandwidth. I can put some stuff back in there. But I don't have to set the expectation that this car is going to be done tomorrow. It gives me that flexibility and breathing room. Now, the other thing is this. We have to monitor and measure our efficiency. If my shop is clean, if my shop is organized, things are put up, everybody knows where everything is, they can get around, the floor's not nasty, the tools aren't nasty, we get more work out consistently. So if I slow down a little bit too much, not a big deal. Hey guys, let's get the shop cleaned up. Let's move into some other work here. Get the shop clean, get the shop organized. That's really all you got to do with that extra time. It gives you the ability to keep your business clean, tidy, effective, and it also gives you the ability to not overwork your people. We can work back and forth based on how much work we're moving in and out of the facility, and we can keep it at a governed and manageable level. Again, it's called parking lot scheduling. How many parking spots do you have based on your hours per RO, and you're gonna find that life is far more comfortable if you do this. Y'all have a good one. Let me know what you think in the comments down below.